I'm Brian Stanton, host of Teaching While Queer, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm a producer and husband, Fuzz Martin. And in 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on your podcast production. It's a QuizGecko.
Yeah, I got it.
Tools today.
Yeah.
Gecko. Yeah. Consumerism, folks. Consumerism, capitalism.
Episode 191.
191. Man, we got to start planning for 200 here soon because
we have a plan for 200.
We kind of do, yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
We have a concept of a plan. I'm sorry. I didn't say that out loud. Yeah, we're coming up on it, though.
We are.
We're going to be there before the end of the year.
Yeah,
maybe?
we should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
only
into
like
account.
8 episodes away.
Yeah, we're going to be like right there.
It'll be great.
Cool. Well,
we're
welcome.
Here.
Welcome to the week.
Hello.
Hello.
It's fall officially, folks. It may not feel like it, but it is fall.
It is.
And we are in the school year, and we need tools. So
yeah,
let me hook you up with some tools.
Let's get some tools, folks.
All right.
Some tech tools.
Some tech tools
for teachers
that are free. Of course. So this week we're chatting about 2 very similar tools, and I have my super cool top 5 list for our tools.
Oh, hit us up. What are your top 5 for these two? Well, first of all, what are the 2 tools?
The 2 tools are QuizGecko and QuestionWell. Both of them are AI.
I don't answer very good, but I question well.
Look at you. You're just full of fun things today. They're both like AI tools that are great for supporting teachers and students. My top 5 reasons why you should QuestionWell and QuizGecko. First thing, they are quick. They are time savers. They are AI generated. So that is super helpful when we are like trying to support our kids.
Yeah.
And you're trying to think of 1,000 different ways to like make kids understand something. This is one of those tools. Second, they are adjustable. And I'll kind of talk about that when I go through each tool. They adjust differently. One of them you choose by grade level. The other one you select if you want like easy, medium, or difficult. But you're able to adjust them. And great thing about adjusting, they also adjust languages. So you can swap them out.
Oh, nice.
For all different languages, which is awesome. They both work across content areas, so you can use them in any content area, which is always helpful. So if you're teaching like basic finance, you can use this. If you're teaching U.S. history, you can use this. If you're teaching biology, you can use this. If you're teaching English language arts, you can use this. So these 2 tools will work for any content area, art, music, all of them. They're great for additional practice. So if you are trying to reach students in different ways and maybe they need additional practice at home or in the classroom and you're doing small group or large group stuff and you're like, hey, this would be a great way to have them practice more independently. And they also will help you support students' needs. So if you're working with one group and you need some kids to, like I just said, do something independently, they can do this, or you can set them up and do it as a whole class. It's totally up to you. So it will support a variety of students' needs as you support them with their additional help.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We're going to start with QuestionWell. When you go to pull it up, it works in both app format and web format.
Okay.
So when you go to QuestionWell, you can type in app.questionwell.org, or just type in QuestionWell and it will come up. And it's really nifty. So basically you create like a little account It's free. Great. And you get the multiple choice questions for free with QuestionWell. If you want to upgrade and spend money, you can get more options. I have found that the free version works just great. So you can get however many 5, 10 questions, what you need for additional help, and then you can pick your topic. So today's topic is going to be Mount Rushmore. Do you want to know why? Because that is what's on your shirt across from me.
Look at that. There we go.
So
how about that?
We're going to ask questions about Mount Rushmore and the history of it. I want them in English. I have a ginormous list of languages to choose from. So if you're supporting students in a variety of languages, you can do that. Or if you're teaching a world language, you could also support kids by asking questions in their world language they're learning.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose my reading level from kindergarten all the way through graduate level. I'm going to choose 5th grade. I can put in a file if I want to, text, website, or video, which is awesome. So I can base my questions on like the National Park Service site, and it can give me whatever I need based on like their information. So I can choose direct text from Classroom if I'm using some like a specific article in class. I can use that with students, or I can pull from a video that we're watching in class, or you can align it however you choose to, which is awesome. I am loading in information from the National Park Service, like I just said. So it's going to go right on into there. Go, save. It's very easy to do. Just load in the information that you'd like to. And then once I do that, I can align it to a specific outcome or standard as well. So if I want to load in a specific state standard, I can do that. And then I click generate questions. They also have pre-saved sets that you can choose from. And then this will, cute little robot, it's making my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It takes my content, it takes my article, and it's going to make the best of my stuff. Sparkly, sparkly. And then once it's done, it has my questions based on the National Park Service website,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to pull the information I need. What's great about this is, again, whatever content you're teaching. So if you're teaching music class and you want it off a specific song, you can do that. And once you get the information, what's cool, or like article or video or whatever you're showing, it will give you on one half of the screen the specific information. So this comes right from the National Park Service website. And then on the other side gives me the question sets, and I can answer them right there. I can choose to answer questions. I can choose to download the questions. I can choose to print the questions. And it gives you a set of multiple choice questions to support whatever reading that you're doing. So it's a super fast way to get additional content for your students in the classroom, or to practice the skills you want them to know.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want them to do like additional help, like maybe you're teaching something and you're not quite sure, like I will be teaching something like, yeah, I think we got that in class, but like thumbs up, thumbs down, we got a lot in the middle kids. Like this would be a great way to create some extra practice for them that you can do in class together or in small groups, just to see if they need additional questions and support. So you can go through and you can export the information and you can print the information and you can figure out what the questions are. It does give them to you in bold, so you know the answers. So like that
Sure.
piece is in there as well. And it's a great way to create another question set. It also gives you, so like that's comprehension questions. It will also give you discussion points if you choose to, right from that article, or you also have the option for vocabulary. So like I just clicked the vocabulary button. It's all there for me. Majestic, heritage, diversity, preservation, cultural, prohibited, all came out of that article with the definitions. So if you need additional support for kids with vocabulary practice, you
Yep.
can do that too.
And so because it's using the text that you gave it, basically,
Yes.
it's pretty likely to be accurate and not
Correct. I mean, you are the one deciding what text you're putting into there.
Sure.
So obviously make sure you're pulling it from a
Like-
worthy site.
Yeah, but still don't just pull it and just
Right.
publish it to your
It's
kids.
still AI generated. So please look at it before
Yeah.
you give it to your kids.
Yeah.
But it definitely is helpful. It also gives you learning outcomes right away, which
Okay.
is nice. And so it shows like the learning outcomes they gave me: identify the sources of information provided from this reading, explain the significance of Mount Rushmore in American history. Like it gives me those learning outcomes right away. And like I said, then you can add more questions if you want to. You can print, you can share, but also it's done with AI. So please make sure that you check it out before you give it to your kids. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of options with it.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's all the free version. There's more upgrades if you do the paid version, but that's the free version of QuestionWell.
Yeah. And again, that helps speed up your time that it takes to
Right.
create that based on that lesson that you're teaching. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're, we all are creating stuff from scratch a lot, but this would be a great way to have some additional support. Or I even think like sub plans, like, oh my gosh, I need to like quick get something out there.
Yep.
Please preview it. But also this would save you some time if kids are reading or watching a video or something like that as well.
Yeah. Wonderful.
There you go. QuestionWell. Check it out.
App.questionwell.org.
Yeah. And check it out.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Try it out.
Little questioning, a little time saver.
Yes.
Cool.
Always a good thing.
All right. So our second one we're going to talk about.
It's going to save you 15%
It's called
on your time.
QuizGecko. Again, this one you kind of create your own little account.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice is then you have your library. So this one will like save your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so you keep a little library of the questions. There are some limitations with this one just because, again, we're working in the free version.
Yeah.
So if I go home, you should look QuizGecko. You decide what you want. Again, this is going to be a uploaded document. So if I'm starting from a short story that I'm using in class, or if I'm creating something, I can upload my information. Then I also have the option so I can upload. I can have AI totally generate everything by giving it a topic. I can add my text, so what I want it to do. I can pick my subject area, or I can drop in a URL, or I can do things manually. So I'm going to, this time, drop in a different URL. This time, we're going to visit New York City.
I actually created a whole thing.
Okay,
based
go for
on,
it.
I dropped in one of your lesson plans from the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorials
Okay,
thing. I dropped in a whole PDF, and it gave me a whole quiz based on the lesson plans. It was pretty great.
like the ones that I created?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty neat, huh? Yeah.
So what are you seeing?
Let's see, like which event serves as the starting point for the counterintelligence timeline students are asked to create. So some of the questions I think came back written toward the teacher a little bit. I think it needs to be cleaned up a bit, but it was the September 11th attacks in 2001, the assassination of Osama bin Laden, the founding of the CIA.
And is it giving you questions?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So
good. And you chose, which type did you choose? Multiple choice?
Yes.
So the thing that's different about QuizGecko is like if you upload a URL, you have options. So again, you can upload text, subject, URL, and manual.
Yep.
You can choose in QuizGecko the type of question you're going to ask. So you can use multiple choice, true or false, short answer, fill in the blank, or matching, or you can do mixed, which is in beta mode right now. So like I'm going to choose short answer. Mine's being based on the Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
Again, I get to choose my language, which I appreciate. And then here, the difficulty is different. So it's easy, medium, or hard. So I'm going to pick easy. And then max questions, you can do up to 10 unless you have the paid version. I click generate. And so it is going to pull information for short answer based on the Statue of Liberty. So like you pulled lesson plans in PDF format, uploaded it. Did you give 5 or 10 questions?
I just uploaded a PDF and it gave me 25 questions, 24 questions.
Okay, cool. So depending on which part you pick, you're allowed so many things, like however many different questions you type ask. So I have 5 questions because that's what I chose based on the Statue of Liberty, and they're just posed questions. So which parks offer ferry services to Ellis Island? What I was pulling information from. Reveal the answer. So you can quiz, you can show answers or not. And then you can go ahead and assign or play or download, which is cool. If you click play, which is the option with QuizGecko, you can play the quiz, or there's flashcards to study. So it automatically creates like quizzing for kids to test it out in class. Or as you guys could do like on a smart board, you guys could practice this as a class. Or in a small group as a quiz, you can assign it to kids. And so you have the option of making these questions, and then they can submit them and all kinds of stuff, which is pretty cool. So when you go to assign, which is one of the options, if you upgrade, you can then drop them specifically. So that's just something to be aware of, like depending on which tools you want to have access to. Some are paid and some are not. But yeah, so then QuizGecko gives you like little quiz flashcards off of the information that you chose to share, which is pretty awesome. And what's really cool is once you have this done, you can go to the share button and you have the link, so you could drop it into Google Classroom if you want to, and kids could have access to it that way if you choose to. And then also it goes into your library, which I appreciate. It automatically kicks it into your library, so I can come back to this anytime I choose to. So like I have physical education, team sports for 2nd grade. Like I've got a little quiz set up for that. And then now I have like the different fairy tips for Ellis Island. So there's different things that you can choose. And again, it's all put into your own little library, which I appreciate. So you can come back to the stuff that you create.
Yeah.
Which is super fun.
It is. It is. So that super neat. Again, it makes, and it even says the banner across the top says it's wholly designed to make your job quicker.
Yeah.
So.
And offer more support to your students, which to me is huge. Always finding more ways to be able to help our kids and give them a variety of different things to learn from.
Indeed.
So there you go. So you've got QuestionWell and you've got QuizGecko, both super awesome free tools to help you support your students' needs and to save you some time for making sure that all your learners' needs are being met. So there you go. There's some hopefully some time savers for you this week.
Indeed.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter,
X,
at SmartWI, or on Threads, or on Facebook, or on Insta, or anywhere you'd like to find me. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartandwi, or visit smartandwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep the show going, and thanks to Jenny for the donation last week.
Thanks, Jenny.
New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart in WI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do. And we'll talk to you next time right here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.